They're they're very, I don't know what the best word to use, dynamic, aggressive. I mean, they're very they disguise a lot of things and they come from every direction. I mean, they'll come after you multiple ways, from outside, from inside, and they're very good at it. They run you would call it a 3-4 defense that moves around, but it's kind of got its own unique style to it than what others. It's not a base set. It's a very moving, dynamic to an offensive player watching it. So it's because of the disguise, because of the movement, because of the things that you can't decipher before the snap of the ball. Everything happens after the snap. That's where you really have to be cued in and be very focused in this game as an offensive player, whether you're trying to block the front or whether you're trying to throw a route against the coverage. It's a moving part, and it's totally different because it's a new defensive coordinator this year than the one they had last year. So a lot of this stuff is all new. They've only had 3 games, and you're kind of trying to figure out, what they're doing within the 3 games, because 2 of them were blowouts. So they went back into a base defense. So last weekend they had to play a little bit. Well, they did play deeper into the football game, and they played a great football team in South Dakota.
As well as Suni played on Saturday. I thought Korby played really well too, and it sure looked like they were challenging him on a fairly regular basis when they were throwing the ball.
Oh, they did. They went after Suni. They went after Suni and Korby all day long. I mean, that's all anybody's doing right now. Is they're going after. They see 2 freshmen on the roster and they go after them. So fortunately, those 2 have stood up for the most part, and each day they get better. And that's the only thing they have to do. Is the only way you get experience is playing, and the only way you learn sometimes is by making an error. And as long as they can move on and move forward and not get caught up in the last play, they're good players. And each one of them is kind of moving forward at their own pace. But I thought Korby played very well. He was in a totally different. He was into the weak side in our coverages, and they were really working the boundary on us hard when Korby was in there. But I thought he did very well, and as the game progressed, I thought he got better because early on they tested him, and it was very easy to correct him as the game went on. I thought that's key to both Suni and Korby is you can correct them throughout the game, and that's hard to do with a freshman sometimes. And it actually limits you in a package unless they can stay up to speed. So we're fortunate. They're football savvy, and they're intelligent. So it's a puzzle every time we go out there with those 2 guys. But it's a piece of the puzzle that you can fit together because they allow you to do some things, and you can get them corrected within a game and get them straightened out.
With the success of the secondary, especially in that 4th quarter, like you said, you're clicking on all cylinders. How much do they have to shift now, and how much does the mindset change going into this game? After it seemed like, they score an A+, but now all of a sudden it's a different test that they're taking.
Oh, it's a whole different test. That's why we have to get better today. We can't wait till tomorrow. We can't wait till next weekend. I mean, we can't afford to rest. We're at the stage right now that we must get better today. In turn, that we'll be ready for Saturday, and that's what they'll have to come back as freshmen now that things were good and people are talking about you. Everybody knows where you play now, but there's also a double-edged sword is that you are on film, and you have to correct your techniques. You have to correct your errors from last week, or you're going to get exposed this week. Everybody gets film. Everybody's getting coached. Everybody wants to go after the weaknesses in defenses or the weaknesses in players. So the more film's out there, the more you're writing your resume as a player of how to attack and how to challenge you. So that's why they must get better, because they're going to see some stuff this week they haven't seen before, and it's up to us to get them ready. Anybody else? Thanks.